Nurnberg is the German Tier 6 light cruiser that we find in the tech tree. As a light cruiser, she has smaller caliber guns, but they are great at starting fires. As a German cruiser, she also has great 6-kilometer hydro and torpedoes, although they're only 6K range. Nurnberg and Leipzig were sister ships. They're the only two ships of their class, and they both saw some action in World War II. Nurnberg and Leipzig both fought against the HMS Salmon, the submarine. She took a torpedo to the bow, which caused enough damage to put Nurnberg into dry dock for repair. Nurnberg did not see much serious action for the rest of the war other than as a training ship. The Soviets took her after World War II and renamed her Admiral Makarov. She remained in service until 1960. Well, we are in the Blast from the Past battles, and I am in the infamous Nurnberg. Infamous? Well, yes, because Nurnberg is well known for exploding on light contact from the enemy ships. Now, these Blast from the Past battles are all tiers 5 and 6, and mostly we are seeing battleships. About half of each team are battleships. I am seeing, it looks like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 battleships. 2 destroyers, and it looks like 3 cruisers. Now, I like Nurnberg. I like Nurnberg because she lights fires. She has pretty good maneuverability, as you can see as I dodge my way around this island. I didn't want to go in front of the island because they have very poor detection, and if I were to be spotted early and I get trapped in front of that island, I'll be gone. I'll be gone quick. It only takes 1 or 2 good hits from a battleship and I will no longer be part of the battle. So I want to get out here where I can maneuver, and then if they shoot at me, I'll have the opportunity to dodge in between the worst of the shells. Okay, I just don't like this. I'm not going to give away where I am. Fubuki's okay. Should be able to get away from that Farragut, but, well, he did take some damage, but I've got to let him go. I cannot take a ill-advised shot and get hurt. Okay, but the Omaha looked like he's going to give me a clean broadside, so I'm loading up AP. And, oh, blasted him. Now that's exactly what can happen to me. And here comes some shots coming my way. I can tell because, yeah, the New York fired at me, but he missed. I have incoming fire alert as one of my captain skills, so I have a good hint when somebody's shooting at me. I don't always know which direction it's coming from. That's where I just have to keep my eyes open. Now, I am doing my best to put these shots on the superstructure of the battleships or hit them on the main deck area away from their guns. If I do that, I have a better chance of lighting the fires. And I lit one. Now I'm moving away, kiting away. That destroyer, the Farragut, is over on my starboard side, and he's spotting me, and I don't like that. I want to be able to shoot and dodge away. Now I can see that Farragut, but I'm going to concentrate on the Warspite right now, and then looks like Farragut's going away, so I'm okay just doing this. Okay. We lost one of our cruisers on the other side, but they got one of the Warspites, the British battleship on the other team. Okay. Warspite was shooting at me. I just throttle juked him a little bit, slowed way down, made his shots miss. He thought I was going full speed. We lost our DD, lost the Fubuki. Somehow he got caught in Warspite's secondaries. I don't know. Oh, I'm getting too close to the border. Well, in that case, let's get turned around the other way because I think Warspite's guns are aimed away from me. He's focused on the New Mexico and my team's Warspites that are on the other on our base and all of them. This is a standard battle, meaning that if one team can take the other team's base, they win. However, that's easier said than done, and we don't have anybody really close enough to do any threats to their base, and we're pretty well crammed into ours. Yeah, Warspite's guns are aimed away from me, so I'm going to sit here and take lots of shots at him with all three of my turrets until he threatens me. I'm not going to worry about it. He might get a few secondary shots on me, but I think I'm outside his range. Okay, he is trying to turn. Now, Warspite has very good guns, but he has very slow turret traverse. So the only way he's going to get those guns on me is to sit there and wait forever and ever, or to turn his ship. And right now, he's trying to do a little of both, but it's not working out too well for him. All right. His superstructure saturated, and I am not getting any fires to light. He did finally get some salvos on me, but I made the worst of them miss. We have him down to 6,000, now 2,000. One more hit and he's gone. Oh, he's trying to heal though, I think. Yeah, no, maybe not. That's it. Okay. Yeah, got that. Now the Farragut is shooting at me. The worst thing, though, is the Farragut is also spotting for the New York, wherever he is. Yeah, there's the New York shooting at me. Whoa. I guess he was shooting at me. He was shooting at somebody, but somehow he didn't even come close. All right. Well, we've only lost 3 ships. The enemy team has only 4 ships left. So we're in pretty good shape here. Now I'm going to try to use this island as a bit of protection in order to avoid being spotted. The Farragut's doing quite a bit of damage to me, and I'm not able to get any back on him. I'm going to run my hydro so that if he were to throw out torps, I can spot him, but also to help me spot him, because I have 6-kilometer hydro. His torps are only 6.5 or 6.4. All right, let's use some of my torps here. Now, this is where I could be in trouble, because New York should be shooting at me. He did, but he missed. Okay, well, that other Warspite is gone, so they're down to 2 ships, and the Farragut has decided to come after me. I assume he's going to try to get some torps to me, but he's going down. He's done. All right. Well, I don't know for sure what he intended to do. He wasn't going to accomplish much. A destroyer, no matter how rough and tough he thinks he is, can't match up with a cruiser. Even a light cruiser like this. Alright, well, now it's just New York, and I am going to throttle juke and use my gears, my steering gears. Worked well. Now New York gets a very long reload. It's like a 30-second reload. It takes forever. In the meantime, I've lit them on fire. At first I'm just annoying the battleships, and then I really start to hurt them, and then they start to get desperate, and then bad things happen to them. Every once in a while one can get lucky. There's another fire. He put out the previous one and he's gone. Alright, GG. So yeah, Nurnberg can definitely be a nasty piece of work, can't she? She did almost 86,000 in damage based on 190 main battery target hits, of which 150 of them did real damage. That's actually pretty good numbers. 3 destroyed, 8 fires, and 5 citadels, presumably all on that poor Omaha. Got a solid chunk on that one, didn't we? Even got 3 secondary hits. Now, German ships can do that with secondary guns, but Nurnberg, you don't really think of that. And first place on the leaderboard with 2,330 base XP. That is a pretty nice number. Oh my goodness, they must have had an AFK Warspider or something. I have no idea. I didn't notice it, so it must have been over on the other side of the map. We got well over 500,000 in potential damage, so the shells that were fired at me that missed, that's potential damage, and I racked up plenty of it. Took out that one Warspite, took out the poor Omaha, and took out the Farragut that it kind of gave up at the end and decided to try to suicide on me. And I pulled in 587,000 after taxes, 3,042 and free XP, 702 Elite Commander XP, and 14,000 for Captain Heinrich Bowler. And he is now a 19-point captain. And we are loaded up with incoming fire alert. That helps me dodge those shots when the battleships were shooting at me. Grease the gears so that when I'm ducking and dodging, I can try to keep my guns on target. Demolition expert, and that's what lit those fires. I like Adrenaline Rush, although I am going to get Superintendent when I get a few more Captain skill points. In a long match, sometimes it's nice to have that extra time, extra charges of Hydro. I didn't end up using any of my consumables this match, but a lot of times I would have. However, the Adrenaline Rush does give me the faster reload time when I've lost some health. And my Survivability Expert gives me the extra health so that I can survive that much longer if I do take a hard hit. And my Radio Locate helps me find the nearest ship, and most of the time it was that Farragut, the DD. However, every once in a while I can tell when somebody's coming around the edge of an island and which direction they're coming around so that I can either move toward them or duck away, send my torps that direction or whatever. Concealment Expert helps bring down my detection range, although German cruisers just don't get great detection. I am detected at 11 kilometers, which is about 2 kilometers more than I wish. I would like to be down around 9 or 9.5. Then I'd feel a lot more comfortable. So for my equipment build out, main armaments mod 1 is the only thing in this slot that really makes sense for a cruiser. I paid the extra coal so that I could have a little longer time on my hydro search, and that gives me an extra 20% on that. And then I have aiming systems mod 1 so that when I fire my guns, they have a tendency to group more closely in the center of the ellipse that defines my dispersion pattern. And then finally, I just switched this over and it turned out to help me out quite a lot. I am running steering gears mod 1 instead of propulsion mod 1. The German cruisers a lot of times are in a situation where they're kiting away, and you can use your throttle juking to try to dodge shells. But I combine that with my steering gears so that I could steer into or away from the incoming pattern of shells, and then also use a little bit of throttle juking. But I don't need propulsion modification mod 1 in order to do that with the Nurnberg. So switch that over and it really helped out. With my flags, I definitely want to run Charlie Kilo. I need that extra little bit of health that gives me, extra 5% on that. I cut down the chances of being on fire, and I cut down on the time that I'm on fire when I do get lit off, like I did with that DD shooting at me. And then I run India X-ray to help me light fires combined with the captain's skill. I lit plenty of them. And then German cruisers have good secondaries in general. Nuremberg isn't famous for it, but I do have them. And so I do run the Mike's Yankee Soxy 6. Have lots of them, so it's one of those why not things. And then I run Sierra Mikes to give me a little faster speed. November Foxtrots will give me back my hydro and my spotter plane more quickly. Didn't use them in this battle much, but I could have. And then lastly, when I do use the hydro, I like to have my Sierra Bravo to give me a little faster cool down time and runs my hydro a little bit longer. So I have it available to me for bigger chunks of the battle. All right, well, we are in the Decades dock where World of Warships is celebrating their 10-year anniversary of being a game. And the Nuremberg is sitting out in the harbor, enjoying the fair weather and all the festivities. So Nuremberg is set up with one turret with 3 barrels up forward and 2 turrets with 3 barrels back aft. So she's, as are many of the German cruisers, set up to be a kiting ship. She's set up where she can be moving away from the incoming threat and be firing 2 turrets back toward the enemy. And then when she can get her broadside in action, and she has pretty good firing arcs, as we saw in that battle, then she can get all 3 turrets going at the same time. She is most effective, though, when she can get at least the aft turrets in action. She does get her spotter plane, which we can see here. She gets 2 sets of torpedoes on each side, and they're located in semi-protected areas, but they're still taken out fairly easily. And we actually had that happen in the battle. So 2 sets of torpedoes on each side, and it looks like there are 3 torpedoes in each salvo. So 6 torpedoes headed toward the enemy. And they're pretty hard hitting torpedoes, so but they're only 6 kilometer, so they don't do a lot of damage in games. But if I happen to hit somebody, they will hurt them. All right, so that is Nurnberg. She has not been, to my memory, featured in a battle before, but she did an excellent job in this one. All right, so I'm going to wish everybody a good evening, and I hope to see you in battle.